Alright guys, good evening. We are doing more canning today. I was gifted 3 cantaloupes and remembered that there is a recipe in the Ball Canning book, the newest one, for melon jam. And I was like, yes, I finally get to make this jam. So this is a new recipe for me. I am following the recipe to the T, except it has an optional addition of pink peppercorns, and I do not have pink peppercorns. So I will not be adding that, but it is optional. This is a kind of a longer process, but that is okay because I am ready to try this. So, to start, you want to cube your melons into 1-inch cubes, and it says if you don't have cantaloupe, use any type of orange-fleshed melon. I, of course, had cantaloupe. It also says to use 14 cups, which is about too large. This is 14 cups, and it took 3 melons to do that. So, I have it cut up into 1-inch cubes, and then it says to mix in a 1/4 cup of salt, and then let it cover it and let it sit for an hour, and then we're going to drain and rinse it. So the way I did it was every time I cut a melon, I would pour it in here, and then I would sprinkle some of the salt. I already had it measured out into a 1/4 cup. Sprinkle some of the salt. Cut the second melon, sprinkle some of the salt, and then that way, even when I stir it, it's pretty much already on all the layers. So it just makes it disperse a little easier, and voila, that part is done. So now I'm just going to cover this up and let it sit for about an hour, and then I will drain and rinse in a strainer, and then I will bring you back so we can work on this some more, because it'll still be another probably 2-3 hours before we can even can it after this 1 hour period. But I hope you stick around because I have a feeling this is going to be really, really good. And I have already tasted the melon. It is wonderful. It is perfectly ripe, which is what you want. You don't want too far gone, and you definitely don't want underripe. So yeah, I will see you in a bit. So, our melon had sat for the hour, and then I drained it, rinsed it real good in cold water, and then drained it again. And so it is now ready for the next step. I have 4 cups of sugar and then a cup of lemon juice. So in a 6-quart, either stainless steel or enameled Dutch oven, we're going to put our 14 cups of melon. Try not to make a mess. Here we go. Our lemon juice and our sugar. And now we're going to stir this around, bring it up to a boil, and then reduce the heat and let it simmer for 20 minutes or until your melon has softened. Guys, so this has gone probably closer to 30 minutes, and I've been testing, and it seems like they're soft enough now, so I'm just going to go in with a potato masher and mash as good as I can. And then I only have this on a 5, so right at medium heat, and I'm just going to continue to stir fairly frequently because I don't want it to burn. We're going to let this simmer uncovered for about an hour. Melons have a lot of water in them, so it does take a little while for them to reach gelling point. But at an hour is when you should start checking to see if it is at that point, so we can start ladling in our jars. But that's all I'm doing. I'm going to mash, mash, mash. And what I'll probably do is, as I stir, I'll probably just keep mashing until it's to a consistency that I'm happy with. But I'm telling you, this smells amazing, and I may have licked some contents off the spoon, and it is pretty darn good. Although I do see where the peppercorns would be really good, and it really has me tempted to use black peppercorns, even though I looked up a pink peppercorn, and it's actually a berry, but it has a peppery flavor. And you can substitute green peppercorn for pink peppercorn. And green peppercorn is a pepper. And I don't know. It just, the taste of it, like, it tastes amazing, but I can see where adding that pepper would just make it, the peppery flavor, make it over the top. So I haven't fully decided yet. And it's only a tablespoon for the entire thing, and you don't put it in until after it's all done anyway. So I have an hour to think about it. It is done. I wanted to show you, you can't hardly see it now. I did, right there, maybe. See where it stays? That's the gel test. That's how you know that it has hit that gel state. And oh my goodness, this stuff. It is such a unique flavor. It's not something that I have ever had before, but I can already have some ideas on how to use this. Besides just the normal on toast, or the ball book actually says to eat it with crackers and soft cheese. So you could always do that too. As far as peppercorns, like I said, I don't have pink or green as a substitute, but I still think in a couple of the jars I'm going to add a couple black peppercorns just to see what it does, and that way I don't ruin the whole batch. I mean, I'll use it regardless, but I have my lids and rings in hot water. I have vinegar, and I have my canner over here, and then my hot jaws. And this is going to water bath can for 15 minutes, and then you let it rest for 5, and we're going to do a 1/4 inch of headspace. So there's, and like I had told you I was going to do, I mashed it as I was stirring this whole time, and it is now pretty perfect. Get it. And I'm going to fill all these and then debubble them. You do want to debubble. I'm just not doing good. I don't really like the 1/4 inch headspace because I can never do it. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to keep filling these, and I'll bring you back after I see how many we have. Okay, so I've already wiped the rims, and of course you can see I've already put the lids on these. I did end up, I got 5 full half pints, and I was just shy, about a 1/2 inch shy of getting a 1/4 pint, so that's just going in my fridge. Or you could freeze it, either one. And then I ended up putting about 6 or 7 peppercorns in each one of these 3, just because I think this is going to be a more savory jam versus a sweet jam. Even though it does have sweet, it has salty. And the salty almost shines through more, and I just think it would be really good with a little bit of peppery. But there, it's so pretty. And like I said, these are going to water bath for 15 minutes. You want to wait until the water is at a rolling boil, and then go ahead and start your timer for the 15 minutes. And also, guys, don't skimp on the debubbling or the wiping the rim, because if anything is on that rim, it's going to cause your jar to fail, or that lid to fail, seal to fail, however you want to say it. It's going to fail. So just do it. And I always use white vinegar, especially if I'm water bath canning. And I always, no matter what, put a splash of vinegar in my canning water. But I will bring you back when these are out. Alright, these just got done. They've been sitting for 5 minutes now. You turn off the heat, you take the lid off, and you just let them sit in that hot canner for 5 more minutes. And then once it's done, it's time to take them out. And also, I don't know what the time would be if you wanted to do more than a half pint. I just know that the Ball Canning book only says it for the half pint, so I would assume that means to only do it in the half pint. Also, don't tip your jars. I know it is easy to want to do that, but that water is going to evaporate off. You do not need to worry about it. I'm glad this is done, because now I'm going to get ready and go to bed. It is 12:30, but I had to take advantage of this cool day. It was only 78 degrees today, and tomorrow it's going to be back up in the 90s. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, that is so pretty. I am so excited to have this on my shelf. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.